Okay, Coach, coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Tonight, it's on to Week 4 as we've got a good Thursday night matchup in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Romeo Okwara. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Now it's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Romeo Okwara able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Lions now as they get set for their opening drive. And they will be led out by a guy certainly still trying to prove himself here in the league, the young rookie quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it is permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check down. Slipper. Check it.
Here's Johnson. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Off play action. Pritchett. Big hold of the 30. Aguilar has it. And all the way up to the 33-yard line. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin. The starters defensively now for the Seahawks. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
I got you. Shoot! Watch the shoot! 61, matchbox lights. Be trim.
On 2nd down now. It's Johnson. Oh, it's poke free. Football's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver, because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
23 yards the pickup there.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Throwing on first down. Pritchett. That's going to be caught by Samuel. They'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And it's really difficult to try and defend.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Robert Kimdichie able to get him for a loss of about 3. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Check, Greystone, travel. Crouch.
Looking to throw. Pritchett. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. From the gun on third down, Pritchett, the quick slant caught. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone, and now it'll be 4th and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. So the D-line got the push there against the O-line to stop that quarterback sneak.
A really high percentage call on offense. I think it's the right call. But as you noted, if they didn't get the push, you can't get in there. There's no place for him to go. And that's why the whole play got stuffed.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Throwing to start the drive. Pritchett, 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. He got 29 yards that time. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, Pritchett. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
2nd and 1. That's complete, right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection.
Down. 60 or 65, 65, 65.
Off the play fake. Pritchett. Flush to his right. And the Detroit Lions hit pay dirt. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in.
Yeah, I would think so because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. Takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
So the Lion offense staying on the field as they're going to try for two.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Back to throw. Pritchett under pressure. Down he goes. Sacked at the 10. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They were losers a week ago to Tennessee, but they're on top right now as they come up here 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing is Wilson, and the grab by Croft. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Wilson to throw. Short throw hauled in by Croft.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. General West. Smooth. Get it.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Pilot, 64, read. Watch twist. Watch twist.
Looking to throw on second down. Pritchett. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Operating from the gun, Pritchett. And that will be Incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Romeo Okwara in there to get him yet again. That is his third sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
That's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He's going to wind up. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off play action. Pritchett. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He's got him in. Complete. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Pritchett. Open man, he's got him. The tight end, Hawkinson. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson, and he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. From the gun on 3rd down, Pritchett. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On 4th down, Pritchett. And he finds Stills, complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On 2nd down now, it's Johnson, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Brad, I think we have to look back at the big call to go for it on 4th down.
And that set up everything in the end result, the short touchdown run. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think every coach would have gone for it back there.
You and I both know every coach would not have gone for it back there. So that's showing a little bit of faith, actually showing a lot of faith in his team, and it was rewarded.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. Charles, it's the second quarter. Your team's losing. You're not playing well as the quarterback, but like I said, it's the second quarter, so how worried right now are you?
You're concerned, but you're not panicked because you know there's still an opportunity. No one's excited about his stat line right now. 1 touchdown pass, okay, that's cool, but he's throwing an interception as well. Can he eliminate the mistakes and keep making the positive plays, the good plays? That's what they're looking for from him.
Time to find out if he can do just that. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Wilson. He's got Lockett. Tyler Lockett. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2.
Yeah, touchdown. I love it. Now it's only a 2-point game. I know it's the first half, but you got to think. Go for 2. Tie it up. Go into the locker room. What are you doing? Come on.
You're bold. You're bold.
It's real easy to be bold sitting up here rather than down there and making that decision.
We don't have to make those decisions. Either way, little time left on the clock here in the second quarter. We'll see how this all plays out. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Pritchett. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that, he said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. A new life now following the late turnover. Maybe a chance for points here before the break.
Yeah, pretty nice situation they find themselves in because they're really maybe one completion away from giving their kicker a shot, and that gives them a chance to get some points up on the board.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. He'll get this to Jennings over the middle. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here are the Lions to take over. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. On top so far with the football here, 1st and 10.
Ready. 15 line. 15 line. Ready.
On first down, Pritchett. And he finds a man on a crossing route. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Off play action. Pritchett. That's caught by his tight end, Isaac Nauta. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Pritchett. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
On 1st and 10, Pritchett. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Robert Kimdichie. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Pritchett. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devon Kennard coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in.
Holding offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line.
Offense.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Now Wilson down around his goal line. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Romeo Okwara make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And throw right side complete to Parker. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. That's taken it around the 40. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
Come on, set. 18 Gator. Check, check. Watch it before. Watch it before.
All day, just like that.
Big grip. Big grip.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. Ready?
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Did your high school have that same push them back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Well, it certainly worked. Didn't matter whether we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed him back at his last snap of the ball, and boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, from the 1 back to the 4. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. His pass caught at the 4. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. And if you're going to pass down here, you better get that in the end zone.
I agree with you totally, and as we both know, the field's already condensed. There's just not a lot of space, so you've got to create some by getting some people downfield into the end zone. If you want to throw it short, you've got to have some movement, some room in order to do that. That one didn't work.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. On 1st down, Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. The throw here caught by Devontae Parker. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Jared Davis in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Here's Wilson. And over the middle, this is Parker. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. But 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Jared Davis in there to drop him, and that is the 7th time tonight that he has gone down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
A run there on 1st down, and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. The All-Pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop. The busy night continues for Johnson, and he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 11 yards there, 1st down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll run it with Johnson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
They'll keep it on the ground. Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Let's go.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Ken.
Check hot route. Hot.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Pull it high.
Big ass.
X3, 218, chop it.
54. Hey, keep it up.
Ready.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Johnson, and they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And McManus able to put it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
So Wilson and the Seahawks down 21-14, a minute 50 to play. They need a touchdown and the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. Now Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. He'll look to throw. And the grab by Croft. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He's back to throw. Short throw hauled in by Croft. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 more there and another first down. Back to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The catch and run good for 18 and a first down.
Hey, you got your first down. Get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it.
All that, and it only nets him a yard. It's second down. They'll look to throw. Short throw hauled in by Croft. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. One last shot for Wilson. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for Detroit, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll fall